My name is Zarek Rogers. I'm a jack of all trades. Actor, musician, artist, model. But most of all, I'm a man of faith. Things started to change a couple years ago, where I was just, again, living for me, talking to a lot of different women, drinking a lot, partying a lot, hanging a lot, drugs here and there. I was just doing my thing, and then I was playing basketball. It was on an Easter Sunday, and I tore my Achilles tendon, and that was the beginning of a lot of changes in my life. But right before summer, I'm on my couch watching everybody live their life, their best life, and all the relationships, the women, etc. that I was pursuing, I didn't have any of that. So it was a time where it was just me and God. Now, I didn't know God. I didn't know. I had gone to church in the past, and I would pray before meals because that's the thing to do. I just grew up knowing that, but that's just what it was. But I found myself trying to heal and trying to understand how best to heal. I just wanted to heal quick so I could get back on the streets, to be honest with you. So I have my Bible there, and I'm reading my Bible, and I'm not really understanding how to read the Bible, what to look for. And I ended up making a comeback, so I come back and, with crutches and things like that, and still not understanding God or this God thing. And then after that, I start working again and start getting my footing back, getting my confidence back. And so I'm gearing up to go back to my old ways, how things used to be. And then bam, out of nowhere, I lose a contract at my job. It got taken out of nowhere, where I was on my knees praying, crying, and things are just not working. And I don't know what is going on. At this point now, I'm 3 days late on rent. I'm running low on food. My bank cut me off. They said, no, can't overdraft anymore. And I would cry a lot. I'll pray. I would just ask God, just please, please. And out of nowhere, I would say on like the second week, I got a call from one of my old bosses. He said, hey man, I got a new contract, for a new work position. I'm like, what? So I step into this new work position. I think all of my problems are solved. And what do? As soon as I start getting on my feet again, I start going back into my old ways. Start living for myself, doing my thing. And I had this music project that was coming out, and it cost some money. So I didn't have the funds available, so I did one of these. I said, I had made the decision of a good sum of money that I wanted to take out, actually borrow against my 401k and fund my music project. And my team puts together an entire album release for this project. At this point, I had started going, about a year prior, I had started going to a church, which was a block away from me. And I had been going deeper and deeper. I had actually, prior to that moment, I had gotten baptized a year prior. And then getting baptized is something that things really started to change. After I got baptized, in all honesty, I felt like my life was falling apart. And it had been a long time. People have been awaiting the release of this music that I had been working on for so long. And then what ends up happening is after the day of the event, the next day I'm supposed to release the project, and I pulled it. I said, no, I didn't. There was something in my spirit, something in me that didn't want to put this project out. now we're at this release, this pivotal point, I would say, in my life. That decision was not an easy decision, I will say. From the point of being baptized, this was a wrestling. I thought to myself, I'm like, God, what is it that you want me to do? Why don't I feel peace with just moving forward? Why don't I feel peace with just living how I wanted to live? This was a process. It's just real. I don't know if I feel comfortable cursing in my music anymore. I don't feel comfortable if I don't feel comfortable, degrading women in my music anymore. So now where does that leave me? I've been living a certain way all my life. Now where am I? I'm like, God, do you want me to not make music anymore? Do you want me to not be me anymore? What does this mean for Z? And this happened for maybe like a year and a half of just not really knowing or trying to understand who I was becoming and what that meant for me creatively. I'm like, God, you gave me all this creative ability, and now why do I feel weird about it? Why do I not feel necessarily the most confident about it? Why do I cringe about it? And that's exactly what happened at my album release. And what God started to do in my life, just the transformation that started to happen, allowing me to walk in purpose. So at this point now, I'm serving in my church. I'm getting asked to have more responsibility in the church, leading small Bible studies, which we call connect groups. And these things set me on paths in areas of growth that I would have never, under my own accord, I would have never walked down these paths on my own. But now through serving and through God's hand on my life, I find myself praying over people. There's a mobile food pantry that I participate with on Fridays. We're literally feeding people, but then also I'm able to pray with people, to direct them towards God, a God who transforms. Just simply ask God, I invite you in. That's a start. Invite God into your life. God, I invite you into my life. And then see what happens. It's gonna blow your mind. It's gonna blow your mind. Looking back on it, I can honestly say, I'm so thankful that God pursues us and pursued me. Yeah, I won't ever be the same.
No, don't tell me how to feel. I sacrifice for this living. I'm back to writing forgiveness. I black the ciphers I've been in. On track to cipher my feelings. On track to counting the millions. But I need them more, bleed them more. A big problem, losing my faith, but I know that he should cure. That's Tupac, my life in a boom box. Moonwalking on moon rocks. They stuffed in my tube socks. Soon whipping the new drop. That's missing a rooftop. I'm winning if you not. Then ending, I'll choose not.